Everyone, welcome to Starting Out Solitary. I am your Wednesday host, MonsoonMagick, and this week we are talking about active versus passive magic. So if you've been following along, you know that we received a question from Wisps and Whimsy, who's our new sub-host. She put the question in on the week where we talked about if magic can fail, and her question was about active and passive magic. And the first thing that really came to my mind when she brought that question up is it made me think of how I align my magic with the elements. So rather than thinking of magic as active or passive, maybe it's just semantics. I don't really use that terminology. I'd never really considered it that way. I thought it was interesting when she phrased it that way. I can definitely see where you could say that some magic is more active than other magic, or some magic is more passive. What I was thinking as soon as she mentioned it, though, is the way that I align my working with the elements. So, for example, what some people might consider passive magic, I would align it with aligning the magic with the element of earth, using crystals, placing crystals around the home, planting various plants around the home. We talked about that. Maybe you plant rosemary or lavender around your home for particular properties. To me, that's more earth magic, and I align that with the energy of earth, which is a slow, steady, grounding energy, no less powerful than what some people might call active magic, just a different speed and different energy to it. And then what I was thinking when she talked about active magic and people were talking about the things that we actually do, is that totally reminded me of fire magic, candle magic, air magic, where you send your intent out on the air. To me, those are they have that more of that active feel to them. Not sure how water fits in. I was almost thinking water magic is almost more of the passive magic. It's a flowing, it's a releasing. If you do cauldron work, things like that, that would be your water magic. So I thought it was fascinating when Wisps and Whimsy brought this up, because I'd never really considered my magic active or passive. I had always considered all of my magic to be active because I'm actively involved in all of it. I'm putting intent and thought and crafting the working with particular crystals or phrasing, timing it. There's a lot of thought and intent. And to me, all of that is very active. But it did get me thinking about the timing of working and how I will align specific working with specific elemental energies. So like I said, maybe for more of the passive, the slow, the steady, the constant, the grounding working, I align that with earth or water. Water would be the releasing, fluidity, flowing. And then something that I want a quick result, or I want, some new thought pattern to emerge immediately. For me, that would be fire magic, candle magic, or air magic, where you release it, you release your intent on the air. So I thought it was a really fascinating topic, but then again, it brought me back to working with the elements, and that's such a huge part of my practice. Working with Annie from the Season of the Seeker, the program is elemental balancing. So I think my lens always shifts me back to the elements and thinking about how things align to the elements. Again, she asked about magic failing. I don't believe that magic fails. I really don't. I believe that we can learn as much from workings that do not work out the way that we intended them to, as much as from workings that do. And I believe that every thought, every intent, every working that we pursue, to me, is active. it just might have a different energy to it. So I hope that answers your question. I love having you as part of the channel, Wisps and Whimsy. So welcome to Starting Out Solitary. Thank you for subbing for me last week. And I hope you all have a very blessed night. And until I see you next week, blessings.